Hello guys, welcome to another edition of Rage Against the Dice. As you can see, clearly Walking Dead All Out War is back on the channel. Now, we are in lockdown as you guys know, but one of the brilliant things about Mantic's Walking Dead All Out War is that it actually comes with not one, but two sets of solo rules, both of which you can actually download free currently on Mantic's website. The first one being Prelude to Woodbury, which is all about the governor, Brian. And then there's also a set of solo rules as well. I can't remember what that's called, actually. No one fights alone or dies alone or something like that. Anyway, I'll post the links in the description below so you can actually download them yourself, especially if you already own the game. Now, trying something a bit new today since I'm just messing about. I'm trying a selfie stick, actually. It's really, really weird, but I'm hoping to be able to get better angles, be able to follow the game and see what's going on. So, as you can see here, I am today using Carl. I've given him his lucky hat, I've given him a screwdriver, and I'm giving him a revolver. So that's, 18, 28, 38, 43? That's maths? Yeah, 43. So I've originally was going to round that up to 45. And then put 3 walkers on the board because it's 15 points per walker. 15 times 3, 45. You guys are with me on that one, right? Cool. That's not what I've done though because I'm an idiot. So here you have it. That's Carl. It is the trainee sharpshooter Carl as a marksman. So we're playing Carl early on. Obviously it's after he's met back up with his dad because he's clearly got his hat. And scenario 1... Carl and Rick, within the context of the scenarios I'm doing, have got separated from one another. So mission 1 will be Carl. Mission 2 will be Rick looking for Carl, and eventually they'll meet back up together. And we'll play it on, and we'll see how long we can get going with this. Hopefully I can keep it up, well, forever, basically. Yeah. But yeah, so that's who I've got with me there. Now, as you can see, I'm using the fantastic dashboards that were made by the amazing Red Beam Designs. Years are gone, but not forgotten. God, I miss you, R.I.P. Red Beam. But yeah, so as you can see here, the first objective today is we've got 5 objectives. The first mission today is that we've got 5 objectives. Now, Carl needs to get 3 of those. If he can get 3 of them, and he can get off the other side in this dirt corner all the way up here, then Carl will win the mission. Or he will... Yeah, that's the thing. I've put a walker on each of these, which puts 5 walkers on the board. What I'm going to do now, because I'm an absolute idiot, is I'm going to take these 3 blue dice, I'm going to roll them. Whatever it lands on is how many extra walkers I'm going to put on the board. You are crapping me. So that's 8. So I'm going to put an extra 8 walkers on the board here. Now, this is stupid, and this is not how the game is meant to be played. But I'm just having a bit of fun with it. I haven't played any gaming in a while, so I just want to roll some dice. So I'm going to put 8 walkers down. And I'm going to grab these in no particular order, and I'm just going to start putting them around the scenery. 2, 3, 4, and I'm putting them in front of scenery. Now, the reason I'm doing that is so that they don't instantly bounce off things. 5, 6, which I know would make it a lot easier for me. 7, and then 8 by the phone box. So I just need to check that I'm not within a kill zone at the very start of the game. No, I am not. And I'll take your attention down here to the threatometer. You know you guys have missed it. And that starts on threat level 1. Now, Carl's a medium nerve character, so he's not going to start panicking until we start getting to threat level 14, which is pretty good. But as you can see, there's a fair old chunk of walkers. Now, just to let you know where everything is and wherever it came from, of course, Carl is from the starter set of Walking Dead All Out War. So it is his card. The event solo decks come with the Prelude to Woodbury set. Supplies are a mix of all the supplies that are in the games I currently have. Both those decks have been shuffled by my son, no doubt, no less. We've got some dice here. We've got obviously the blue ones there, which I'm going to take out of the dice tray because I'm not a monster. We have 5 objectives, which I'll show you where they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, the scenery is a mix of Mantic's own scenery, TT Combat scenery. The phone box is from Foreground, and of course, as you probably can see, the Daily Bugle's clearly from the Marvel Crisis Protocol game. Just to let you guys know where it is. Now, each of these objectives are locked. They are locked within either the bin, the shop, or the cars, or indeed the porta potty, which is guarded by our man there. It's actually Seth Rogen. No, so I've got 2 of the Ronnie Renton models because I've got my own Kickstarter and then I bought a friend's Kickstarter off him, so I've got 2 of that model. So I painted one up as it should, as Ronnie, or I'm going to. And the other one I painted up because I thought it looked a bit like Seth Rogen. I painted up like Seth Rogen. It means I'm more likely to not care if I have to shoot it in the head. I hate Seth Rogen. I just do. It's not even that he's not funny. I find him amusing. He just irritates me as a person. But yeah, so this is solo play. So what will happen is at the start of each round, after the first one, the threat level will go up 1. If the threat level, of course, reaches 18 before I have collected at least 3 and got off the board, then I will lose this mission. If I am bitten and die, well, that's a bit tragic, isn't it, really, when it's called? No, if I just get my health reduced to 0, that's fine. He'll pass out and it'll play into Rick's scenario. If he gets bitten, then I don't know, maybe we're going to have to amputate, and then for the rest of the game, Carl won't have a limb. Who knows? We'll see as we're getting along. So yeah, this is how it is. I don't need to roll for initiative or anything like that. Because, yeah, I have initiative. It's my turn 1. All I'm going to do first, though, is because I'm British, I'm going to get a cup of tea. Well, drink my cup of tea. I've, of course, already got it. We have a cup of tea with us pretty much at all times. And then we'll get started. Oh, the mat itself is from Deep Cut Studios, by the way. We get asked a lot, and that's where it's from. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. Hopefully you guys are excited to be back in the land of the Walking Dead All-Out War. And we'll plod on, and we'll take it just a little step. So here we are back at it. And I do have to apologise. You'll most likely be able to hear the washer going on in the background. Like I said, we're in lockdown. I've got to take what I can get. The chances of me actually getting to film at any point are pretty slim. So I just kind of have to do it around the rest of the house. But yeah, so as I was saying before with regards to smashing. Smashing is your normal melee attack, which for Carl is 1 red. Boom. But he also has a screwdriver, which adds an extra red when he's fighting walkers, but not for the purposes of smashing. Now, for the building, that's got a defense of blue. For the 2 cars, it's got a defense of white. And for the porta potty and the bin, the Rancor Waste Disposal Company bin, that's a red as well, because they're easier to break into them. The cars are a bit harder, so whites, and the blue is the hardest of all. If I'm unsuccessful, it will create noise and it will pull the closest walker towards me. Now, as always, we're going to be using the official measuring stick, which has got sneak and run, and then it's got noise and mayhem on it, and of course the generic shambling. So, I think we'll be okay between us. Do you reckon we should get on with this? So, Carl's first action. Carl gets 2 actions. That bit works the same whether it's solo or not. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get straight stuck in. Zoom. Like I said, I haven't rolled dice in a while and I'm jonesing. So yes, they are in melee now. That was both of his actions. So then what we do is we'd go across to the next phase, which is where we would measure kill zones, and we would use this. As things happen, we don't need to do that at this stage because clearly there's going to be no walkers within range. So I guess it's now onto the event phase where we're going to flip cards. Always a good way to start the game. Boom, won't stay down. So we're on an all quiet and low threat level. So for each prone walker, roll the shield die. And on a shield, the walker gets up. If there's no prone walkers, then it just adds 1 to the threat level. So guys, straight away we're seeing the threatometer bounce up to 2. I know, this is a scandal. So, as I was saying before, in melee, which of course we're now in the melee phase. First thing we do is we check if there's any walkers in base-to-base contact with a survivor, and there is, of course, because Carl there. So the threat level will go up again by 1, because it does that in this phase. Now, many videos I've seen online, and we were guilty of it as well, because we saw it on a different channel and copied it, and put the threat level up in the event phase. It's not, it's at the start of the melee phase, but that's by the by. So, as I said before, Carl uses 1 red die. He also gets 1 red die when fighting a walker that's not in melee, that doesn't have a melee weapon, which of course walkers don't. They're too bitey for that. So they roll in 2 red die. And he got to 2, one of which being a critical or a headshot. Now, a single walker on his own, not too good. He just uses this. And he also got a 2. Wow. So, yeah, it's a draw. I'm a person. He's a walker, so he'd normally get pushed away, but unfortunately he can't be pushed away because of the scenery, so I get pushed away. Yeah, I believe that's right. Because we drew. If I'd got the headshot and 2 and he just got 2, then it would be a different matter. Is there just a 2 without a headshot? I don't think there is on the red die. I'm just waffling. So yeah, so that would take us to the end of the first turn. It was massively eventful, as you could see. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move straight across to turn 2. And with turn 2, instantly, because it's a solo game, the threat level goes up by 1. And we can see that the threat level is starting to creep up quite considerably. And I know you're thinking it's only threat level 4, but this is only turn 2. And I know it's my fault. I did it. Nobody freak out. It's just one of those things. So right, this is where we're at now. Carl could shift it. Now, all the bits of scenery have a walker on, so you'd need to get rid of them before he could possibly do anything further. So, first thing he's going to do is he's going to go 4 to here. And then he is going to do another action to there in base contact. I just need to move the range ruler out the way first. So once again, he's starting himself in combat. Now, this time we do have to check kill zones. As it happens, both of them are out. So yeah. So outside of the shop, just chilling. Let's draw a card now. Distracted. All walkers suddenly stop. Nothing happens. But we're actually in low threat now. So, well, move 1 eligible walker in a direction of your choice. Now, I can't move the one that is attached. Of course I can't. Because they're in base contact. They're going to be fighting. So I'm going to move this guy over here. And I'm going to shamble him away. And shambling, as you can see, is 6 inches. So this is where solo gameplays, this is what helps you. Because you can sort of shimmy some walkers away. Now, as before, I roll 2 dice because of my screwdriver. And I got 2. So I'll put those there. Next thing I'm going to do is roll this dice. And the walker got a 1, so it wasn't a headshot. I did defeat him though. So he goes back an inch and he's prone. So normally I have some actual tokens, which I got from... I can't recall. But I got that say prone, but I haven't got them out today because actually I think they're still left at the club. Of course, we're on lockdown. But yeah, one thing I forgot to do was put the threat level up by 1 because at the start of the melee phase, we were in combat. That's all on me. So yes, here we have it, the shop. This is turn 3. Straight away we know turn 3, the threat level is going to go up by 1 and we're already on threat level 6. I've got no objectives and we've got 1 prone walker which we need to check if it actually stands up. And it does. So right, it is now turn 3, we've put the threat level up. I'm going to try not to forget any more rules. Like, you don't know, it's been so long since I played this. So, first thing I am going to do is I'm going to move. So I'm just going to move to there, because I'm then out of his threat level, but I can also try and see if I can open the shop. So first thing I'm going to do is roll the shop's defense, which is a 1. So I need to get at least a 2 on 1 red die. If not, it's going to create some noise and that walker's going to come back towards me. That actually was a 2, but it's off the table. It's a 1, so it's not successful because you have to beat it. So that creates noise. And noise goes like this. Ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk. It pulls the closest walker, which of course is going to be this one, who will shamble forward until it hits something, which on this occasion is my fine self. So yes, then it would move on to checking threat levels, or checking kill zone, sorry, and clearly there's going to be none. So we go next onto the event card. We are still just in low threat. So 2d6 worth of two white die worth of walkers enter play and each move towards the nearest survivor. So, and the threat level goes up by 2. You can see that from the corner here. So we're just teetering on the edge now. So 2 white die, and that's 3. So we're going to grab 3 walkers, and to make it fair, we're going to put 1 there. We're going to put 1 up at the top here, and then we're going to put the other one up here where I need to escape. Now these, as it said, will move straight forward. God, Alan, I miss you. If only just for the fact that I can hold the camera and measure when Alan's here. That was it. So I don't get there, but I get pretty close. The same over here, front of base. I mean, as I said, I am partly using this just as a way to test out whether the selfie stick thing is going to be much better for games, because one of the things that people do say about our channel a lot is that because we use a static camera most of the time, people don't get to really see the models and the action, and the fact that everything on the table is painted for once means that, yeah, I should really take the time to show it off. Right, so then what we do is we'd go to the melee phase. First thing we would check was whether there's combat, and there is. So this threatometer would whack up to medium, so we're on 9 now, and we're panicking. We're panicking a little bit, but 2 red dice for me because of my screwdriver, 2 and 1 for the walker, and that's a 1. So again, defeat the walker. It goes back an inch and knocked down. It is, however, going to be against that building. Oh, crud. You guys know where it is. Now we need to roll to see if the walker stands up, which he does. Of course he does. Of course he does. So he's just like an inch away. Right, we're going to take a really small break because cup of tea, and then we'll continue on with turn 4. So far, I don't think it's looking good for Carl, if I'm honest. Bless him. So, hello guys, and we are back. And as you can see here, poor Carl is in a very precarious predicament going into turn 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to waddle across this threatometer, which, as you can see, is at threat level 10. No, it's not. It's at threat level 9. I've moved it. We're going to spin that up to threat level 10, however, because of the start of the 10. That's the one. And now we need to plan how we do a little bit smarter, because clearly that building isn't working for us. So what I'm going to do is, if Carl can get there in 1, he can. He's going to move across, which hopefully means he's not in a threat level for once. And he's going to try and search the car. So to do that, he has to smash the back window open. He rolls 1 red die. And it's a 1. Now, as I said, a car was white die. I wish I could go back on that now, but... So unfortunately, he is not successful, which creates noise. Now the nearest walker to him, as I'm sure you can see, is this suited chap here. So he shambles along, walker style. And he gets right in there up against the car. Now next thing we need to do is check for kill zones. And you can see he's the nearest and he's not. So we're all good. Well, I say we're all good. We're about to hit threat level 11 and we're only turn 4. So next thing we need to do is flip a card. Boom. So roamers is medium threat. Roll a blue die and move that many eligible walkers toward the nearest survivor. Blue die. You are kidding me. So it's a 2. So yeah, 2 walkers. Now, that's going to be the nearest, which is him. That's definitely going to get him in. And then it's this guy here, who, if we flip it across, also gets him in. Now, this is really, really dangerous for Carl, as you can see. But we're not quite there yet, because it's now the phase for melee. So we flip this up by 1. Now, as you can see here from the walkers, outnumbering is a single walker in combat. It rolls 1 die. A second walker adds 2 die, and a third walker adds 3 die. So, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice. I've only got 5 here because I didn't get out enough, because I didn't think I was going to need them. I should have known I could get up to 15. So I'll re-roll one of these blanks. Now, that's not good, because if I lose this, Carl is bitten. So, remember this, internet. 2, 3, 4, 5, one of which being a bite. And Carl gets... In fact, Carl can't succeed here. He got a 1, which means he loses 4, and he is bitten. 4 would take him straight to dead. So what I'm going to do, being that I'm a cheating scumbag, I'm not even going to lie to you on this one, guys. Carl is severely wounded. He goes down to a 0 and he slides under the car. So the next mission, Rick is going to be looking for him. Now, when the next mission starts, we're assuming that Carl hasn't been bitten, of course, because otherwise I'm going to have to chop a limb off of Carl. I'm going to give some artistic licensing. You guys can use a work with me on that, won't you? So all walkers are going to stay exactly where they are, with the 3 being around the car. Rick's going to come in from a board edge, which we will decide when we start doing that filming. And then from there, hopefully, Rick will be able to save Carl. But Carl won't be able to move until Rick gets to the car and saves him. It's going to be assumed that he's passed out. When Carl gets woken up, he'll be on 1 life. Or 1 stamina or health. Or I can't even remember what they're called on this game. I play too many games. Stamina in 1, health in another, mana in another. Oh. But yeah. So guys, that was my first foray back into solo game playing of The Walking Dead All Out War by Mantic Games. Still one of my favourite tabletop games, and I bet Alan right now is super jealous that he isn't here. So what we're going to do is we're going to stack Carl on there. We're going to put this walker here. We're going to put this walker here. We're going to put that walker there. And yeah, I kind of brought that on myself, as I'm sure you guys will know. So Carl managed to, being a child, squeeze himself under the car. Pretty tight. Other than that, that was my first game back of All Out War. Hopefully you guys liked it, and you guys are going to play along at home by setting yourself up some solo games. What I want to see is, I want to see on the, if you're in the UK, on the Walking Dead UK Facebook group, and if you're, oh, my apologies, in America, on the Walking Dead America Fanatics group, or, right, let me rephrase that. If you're anywhere in the world on the Walking Dead All Out War Fanatics group, I want to see your solo games. If you're in the UK, also post yours in the UK one. That makes a lot more sense. So you'll get 2 players to post them. I want to see people's solo games is basically what I'm saying. But anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this content. Hopefully the new selfie stick and the fact that I slightly trembled due to nerve damage in my hand hasn't made you feel a bit seasick. But yeah, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Let us know what you thought of it. Do you want to see more All Out War? You're definitely going to get another one because, you know, Rick's got to save his son. It's just life. But yeah, what do you think of it so far? Do you like it much better now that the scenery's painted? Do you like the more close-up view so you can see the sheer terror on the faces of people? Yeah, let me know. What I hope to do eventually is that cheeky little beast Alan will come back out of quarantine, because he's got, not coronavirus related, he's just got rabies. But yeah, Alan will come back out, he'll build up his own little posse thing, and then we'll kind of just turn it from a solo play into a 2-player campaign. Maybe I can even get Liam, Vince, Sparks, Nate even involved, and maybe we'll start getting to see more Walking Dead All Out War. But yeah, guys, it's been an absolute blast. I am really happy to be back doing it. Like, subscribe, share with your friends and family, check out our other content. We've got so much All Out War on the channel. We're starting to do some unboxing videos again, as I've got, some of the other expansions just sat there that I haven't even touched yet. So we'll get those unboxed, go across, and as I said, check out the free PDFs. Mantic have actually got a load up on their website, not just those, but for other games as well, which, I've said some negative things about Mantic in the past. Never The Walking Dead. Love The Walking Dead. But I've maybe made some comments about their rule sets, older rule sets being a bit weak, and I didn't like their older models. They're absolutely killing it. The Vanguard stuff's gorgeous. Some of their fantasy-based stuff is so beautiful. The Walking Dead's just going from strength to strength. We've just got, obviously, the new version of the game called Arms, which is a larger version of the game. On top of that, as I said, they're giving away loads of free rulebooks to help people out during this really quite horrific period of time. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm going mental not being able to go to work. I never thought I'd say that. But yeah, so go check them out. It's definitely worth it. Support the companies that are supporting you is what I always say. But anyway, guys, I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to stop waffling. Hopefully you guys are staying safe, keeping clean, making sure if you get any walker bites, you chop that limb off before it gets infected. And if you're a little child and you get bitten by 3 walkers, hide under a car. It'll all be fine. Pray to the dice gods. Hope to smile upon you and take care. Bye now.